47 Weeks, Life and Learnings of a Dietetic Intern. Hey guys, welcome back to 47 Weeks. It's exam week. If you're wondering what I've been up to the last few months, I enjoyed the last month of summer, went berry picking. Skylar's mom came down for the last week of August and we did a bunch of fun stuff. We took her hiking and we went kayaking and to Lunenburg. It actually turned out that a bug bit me on the forehead while we were kayaking, and then a few hours later I had a bite the size of half a golf ball just almost in the middle of my forehead, and it lasted for about 24 hours. We also went out to a French restaurant, except it turned out to be the wrong French restaurant. It wasn't the one that my friend and coworker works at, and he was wondering where we were because we had a reservation, but we were eating at Bistro Le Coq instead of Le Bistro. But you can see how we got confused, and apparently it happens all the time. And before she left, she got us a coffee maker, and I've never owned one before. And at first I had a panic moment where I thought you could only make 12 cups of coffee at a time. And then I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna waste so much. How can we drink so much coffee? But no, you can brew 2 cups at a time if you want. Skylar and I also had our 5th year anniversary, and we went to Clay Cafe and painted each other mugs. And we also went to the right French restaurant, and it was really great. I highly recommend it. The French martini is now my new favorite martini. I started thinking about the CDRE about midway through September, and I decided to make a study plan. What I did is I highlighted all the competencies that are indicated to be tested on the CDRE, and then I made a weekly plan of what I would be studying: the professional practice, the nutrition care, the communication, and the management portions of the competencies. I read this guy a lot. I would study 2 to 4 days a week, mostly 2, and when I studied it was for 1 to 4 hours, but mostly around 2. I've also been working on updating my professional portfolio and going over the continuing competency program to see what you need. One of our good friends got married this October, and there was a bunch of fun events leading up before it. We did the shower, and I went to a bachelorette. There was a game at the bridal shower where you had to try to guess the number of licorice pieces in a jar, and I guessed 63, and there were 64 in there. And if I would have guessed 65, I still wouldn't have gotten it. So it was pretty cool. I got this nice set of mugs. And the bachelorette was Harry Potter themed. So we started by getting our nails done, and then we came back here and had a bunch of Harry Potter themed decorations and snacks. And then we went to the Bistro, that French restaurant I told you about, and we ended the day with an aerial class. The same studio that does pole dancing, but we wanted to switch it up. And then there was a post-wedding barbecue the next day, so that was a really nice way to say goodbye to all your new friends. And the last event that you missed is Halloween. Christine and Craig had a party at their house, and it was really fun. I finally got to see some of the other interns. It was a mini reunion. We're not interns, so we're dietitians now. I keep doing that. Other than that, it's just been really nice to leisurely study for the exam while having the house more clean and having much more time to exercise. I've started working on the spices project, where I just want to research more of the spices and learn how to cook with them. And I might make some sib episodes about that. An update on the TRIC grant. The application was successfully submitted, and we are still awaiting results. If we get the grant, it would still only be for $3,000, so I would obviously only be working part-time. But it would be a really good foot in the door, and I imagine it'll be easier to apply for additional funding for larger sums of money for the other phases of the project. I wrote my exam yesterday. Here's proof. There was a lot of questions where I wasn't 100% sure about. A lot of the possibilities could have been acceptable actions you take in a situation, but you can argue for more than one option. I can see why a lot of dietitians say there isn't a point in studying for a lot of the questions, because you can study for the management part or the communication part. You do kind of have to know it or you don't. I think it's good that I studied for the nutrition portion, because that part you could definitely study for. To quote one of the interns that did the internship with me, everyone feels pretty shitty about it. So that makes me feel a lot better that we're all on the same page. I'm not so worried because my friend that got married, the dietitian Becca, she felt the same way after writing her exam. I would be very upset if I was the first intern from Capitol Health to fail the test. My learnings for the past 12 weeks include I'm allergic to some kind of bug, clearly, but I don't know what kind of bug. While you can't study for most of the CDRE, you can study for the nutrition stuff. Watermelon cake, which is so easy to make, is surprisingly light and delicious. And I learned what an honor it is to stand next to someone in the bridal party at a wedding. Last but not least, I learned more about nutrition through the life cycle. I was reading more about it in my textbook while preparing for the exam, just because I felt like it was missed in my university courses and I didn't have a rotation at the IWK to cover that in internship. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey, and I hope you stay tuned for some future episodes of Sustain Your Body, such as the spices that I mentioned, or some other episodes that might be in the works. But we need to buy a new camera first, so it could be a little while. Please make sure to send your episode ideas or health questions to alina@sustainYourBody.com or comment on our Facebook page. Remember, sustain your body, sustain your life. Thanks for watching.